Have you ever imagined living in a place far from anywhere, no shopping malls, and barely any cell phone signal? This is the reality in some remote towns in Montana, a vast, wild, and beautiful state, promising peace and a slower pace of life, but also potentially one of the most unpleasant places you could ever find yourself. Yes, natural beauty doesn't always mean comfortable living. There are towns in this state considered bad places to live. Not because of the people, but due to various factors such as geographic isolation, stagnant economies, and a social life that's almost frozen. So, which towns are unlucky enough to carry that label? Kicking off this list is Libby, a town surrounded by dense forests, rivers, and towering mountains. Located in northwestern Montana, it looks absolutely stunning, at least from up here. Behind its beauty, Libby hides a dark history that still lingers today. In the late 20th century, it drew national attention when it was discovered that the town's vermiculite mine contained asbestos. This contamination caused severe health problems for residents. More than 400 people have died, and an estimated 3,000 others have been diagnosed with illnesses such as mesothelioma. Although a massive cleanup has been underway since 1999, the impact is still felt. The population continues to decline, industries have collapsed, and many people are reluctant to settle here for fear of the remaining dangers in the air and soil. Medical access is also not always available, especially for conditions related to the contamination. Its remote location far from major cities makes Libby a quiet, aging town scarred by its own past. From Libby, we head to a town still steeped in cowboy and Old West vibes. Jordan is not an easy place to find. It stands alone in Garfield County, an area known as one of the most sparsely populated in the entire United States. Once you enter this town, you quickly realize how limited the way out is. Long, empty roads separate it from the outside world. Public facilities are minimal, there's no large hospital, and the local clinic isn't open all the time. Shopping for basic needs can be a challenge, especially in winter when roads become slippery or even covered in snow. Life in Jordan moves slowly and hardly changes. Many young people choose to leave and never come back. For some, Jordan offers peace, but for others, it feels more like isolation. Moving closer to the Canadian border, Harlem is one of those small towns that almost escapes notice. Surrounded by farmland and reservation land, it struggles with various social and economic challenges. Inequality is apparent. Some houses are well kept, but many are abandoned. Here, education is just one of many issues. Some schools reportedly lack adequate funding and facilities. Children must travel considerable distances to get a decent education. Healthcare services are limited. Infrastructure like roads and internet connectivity is far behind. While the local community tries to hold on, life in Harlem is anything but easy. A similar situation is found here. Broadus, the seat of Powder River County, stands quietly on the wide plains of southeastern Montana. The town has only one main street, with most of its buildings lined along it. If you come here, don't expect much activity. Life moves slowly, and most of its roughly 400 residents rely on ranching and seasonal work. There's no major industry and few local businesses, leaving economic opportunities scarce. For young families, Broadus is often seen as offering little promise. Now we head to western Montana, near the Idaho border. Here lies Thompson Falls, a town surrounded by dense forests and flowing rivers. At first glance, its scenery looks stunning. But, as mentioned earlier, natural beauty doesn't always mean a comfortable life. This town faces the harsh reality of living in a place prone to isolation, especially during the winter snow season. Many residents depend on government jobs or construction projects, but it's not enough to stop the wave of people moving away. Its social life doesn't grow much either. It may be ideal for a weekend getaway, but for daily living, it's certainly not that simple. Meanwhile, in northeastern Montana, right in the middle of an ocean of grasslands, stands the quiet town of Scobey. But don't be fooled by its calmness. This town is so remote that cell phone signal is often out of reach. There's no exact data on how many people live here. The last record showed just over 700 residents in 2022. They grow up imagining life beyond the town, especially the younger generation. When they leave for college or work, only a few return. While Scobey has a certain nostalgic charm, it's not the pleasant kind. It feels more like living inside an old, faded photograph. Peaceful to look at, but full of emptiness. Next, have you ever heard of Big Sandy? The name sounds unusual for a town. But true to its name, it stands in the middle of wide open land. Its population is just over 500 people, with a few shops, one school, and not many leisure options. Yes, silence and stillness are part of daily life here. Most of its residents live from modern farming and ranching, but the income isn't always stable. In recent years, many houses have been left empty. This town feels like it's waiting for something that never comes. Calm, but almost lifeless. And if you drive southeast in Montana, across quiet plains and small hills, you'll likely find Ekalaka. As a beautiful outpost in far eastern Montana, this town feels like another world. Ekalaka is far from any major city, and even the nearest gas station can be more than a dozen miles away. On top of that, this town, founded in 1885 by a bison hunter, is known for its harsh winters. Heavy snow can nearly isolate the town completely. Small-scale economic activity remains, but sometimes it's not enough to meet the daily needs of its just 372 residents. Yes, while it has a strong community where everyone knows each other, that can also be a burden for those who need personal space or wish to grow beyond the limits of a small town. A similar situation can be found in Circle, a small town in Macomb County. This town is the midpoint that's truly in the middle. Located along the Big Sky Backcountry Byway, Circle is known as a farming and ranching community. However, there's no railroad and no large shopping centers. Life here has barely changed over the past few decades. Most residents make a living from farming and ranching, But over time, climate challenges and commodity prices have made this sector unstable. Many young families have left, schools have shrunk, and shops have closed one by one. Places like karaoke bars, gyms, or movie theaters are nothing more than a dream. Circle is not only geographically isolated, but also socially and culturally. From Macomb County, we head to Bighorn County in south-central Montana. Here lies a town with a rather unique name, Lodge Grass, that offers a rural suburban feel. Located in Crow Nation territory, this town faces complex challenges. Yes, not only because of its remote location, but also due to deep-rooted social and economic problems. Many of its roughly 400 residents live in poverty. Educational and healthcare facilities are very limited. While the native community here remains strong, the town feels trapped in a cycle of neglect. The government is not always present in a meaningful way. Roads are full of potholes, and even the electricity sometimes goes out. As a result, many young people grow up without proper internet access, even though that's a basic necessity for learning and working in today's world. Lodgegrass is not a town that gives up, but it's also not an easy place to live. From South Central, we now go to northeastern Montana and see Plentywood, which also stands alone. The name of the town sounds optimistic, plenty of everything, but the reality is far from what its name suggests. Here, farmland is starting to lose its fertility. On top of that, extreme weather makes harvests unpredictable. Plentywood is also far from economic centers and basic facilities like a health clinic. When storms hit, roads can be completely blocked, and at those times the town truly feels cut off from the outside world. Although it's known for its rodeo activities, many have decided to leave for good. And what about this town? Its name is Forsyth, located in Rosebud County in eastern Montana. The town is known for its historic district, the Rosebud County Museum, and the annual Rosebud Treasure County Fair. But it seems to sit at the meeting point of two worlds, between Montana's vast landscapes and the stagnant life of a small town. Yes, not much happens here. The economy moves slowly, with limited jobs in sectors that barely grow. Many houses look well kept from the outside, but inside are people who feel trapped. They can't move because they don't have enough money, but they also can't move forward because there aren't enough opportunities. This town isn't a dangerous place to live, but it's also not a place that helps you grow. There's also Philipsburg, which shouldn't be left off this list. This town actually has the charm of an old mining town, with historic buildings, main streets lined with souvenir shops, and more. But outside of summer, the town is almost empty, especially since its population is under 1,000. The weather here can be extremely harsh. Steep, snowy streets pose their own dangers. The local economy relies too heavily on seasonal tourism. Once winter arrives, many shops close. For those who live here year-round, Philipsburg isn't exactly a pleasant place, but that doesn't mean it can't be called home. From a mining town, we move to another, Harlowton. The difference is that it was known as a railroad town. The Milwaukee Road electric line once passed through here, bringing life and progress. But that was long ago. Now, the rusted tracks stand as a reminder of a past that won't return. Downtown Harlowton is quiet, with old buildings standing empty. Even gas stations may close early because there are no customers. Many young people feel trapped in this town. There's no university, no activity center, and no clear future. Harlowton isn't a bad place because of crime or violence. It's bad because it's slowly being left behind. And at the end of this journey, we return to northwestern Montana. Among the mountains and calm flowing rivers, there's Troy, standing in stillness. Just like Libby, the natural beauty surrounding this town can't hide the fact that it's slowly fading away. Its nearly 1,000 residents are mostly older adults. The small industries that once supported the economy have long been closed. Many houses are in disrepair, and the main streets are rarely busy. There's no large hospital, and jobs are scarce. Many say Troy is beautiful to visit, but not to live in. In the end, Montana holds plenty of beauty, from majestic mountains and clear rivers to endless grasslands. But not every place in it is friendly to live in. The towns we've talked about face isolation, limitations, and heavy life pressures. Of course, for some people, this kind of peace is paradise. But for those looking for opportunity, public services, or even just a stable internet, these towns might be among the worst choices. If you had to live for a year in one of them, which would you choose?